Hey guys, so today we're going to be looking at more relationship stories. Yeah, let's just get right into the video. My boyfriend has started acting distant and ghosted me after meeting my parents. How do I reach out to him? My boyfriend Derek, fake name, and I met through mutual friends 6 months ago and we immediately hit it off. He's sweet, funny, kind, and just generally a good guy. He is super extroverted and I have never seen him dislike or not click with anyone. I mentioned him to my parents a couple times and they said they were excited to meet him. My parents live a road trip away, so me and Derek had to book a hotel nearby. About 2 weeks ago, we dropped all of our stuff in the hotel and arrived at my parents' house. My parents are the most welcoming people you'll ever meet. They have met some of my past significant others and have always been warm and kind. Since both my parents and Derek are charismatic and welcoming, I thought that dinner would go smoothly, but I was wrong. It didn't start off too bad. My parents and Derek seemed a bit awkward, but I just assumed he was nervous. We sat for dinner and my parents asked us a couple of questions. How do we meet? How serious is the relationship? Etc. I've never seen Derek stutter or hesitate before this dinner, but he did. As soon as I finished eating and he thanked my parents for dinner and said we had to go, it felt like he was rushing to get out of the house. When we get to the hotel room, he ran to the bathroom and I heard him throw up. He said he felt sick and he was going to head back home, but he insisted I stayed and enjoy the rest of the trip without him. I agreed since I really miss my parents and he seemed to want to be alone. I texted him a couple times asking how he was doing, if he felt better, but he didn't reply. After 2 days passed, I started to get really worried that maybe he was really sick and had to go to the hospital or something. So I cut the trip short and headed back home. I went to his apartment and saw he was okay. I asked him how he was doing and why he wasn't replying, and he said he felt fine and that I was overreacting. He told me he felt sick and he wanted to be alone. I went back home and texted him asking if I did anything wrong and if our relationship was okay since he was acting so weird and cold. A week has gone by since the text message and he has not replied. Derek is the last person I'd expect to ghost me. I'm torn between wanting to give him space and wanting answers. How do I even reach out to him without pushing him further away? Yo, what the hell happened? Did he know her parents? Like, why was he so scared? Like, I'm assuming he's scared because when he went back home, he started throwing up. You know, like, that's a sign of someone being really, really anxious to the point where they just throw up. Something definitely happened. Well, good for us, there's an update. 4 days ago, I called my mum and told her about Derek's weird reaction after our dinner. I asked her for advice or if she knew what happened. She was silent for a moment and I heard her crying. She started apologizing and I didn't understand what she was trying to tell me at first. Eventually, I got her to calm down and she told me what had happened. My mum is a high school teacher and apparently Derek was her student in his senior year and she told me that they had an affair. What in the world? What is going on? She didn't give me that many details, honestly. I didn't even want to know. All she said is that they only slept together once before she shut it down and that my father knew and they had attended couples counseling years ago to work through this. She cried a lot and said it was her greatest regret. Then she told me she wanted me to break it off with Derek because he brought back really awful memories and she found the age gap concerning. Whose age gap? Why is she talking about age gaps when she literally slept with a student? And she wants her daughter to break up. What? Why is she playing victim? I don't get it. Seriously, the mom is playing victim. That's not how it works. The mom was really like, he brought back really bad memories. As if she was not the teacher who slept with a student. Is she crazy? I went to Derek's apartment again and he invited me in. He said he had to tell me something, but I stopped him and I told him I had already talked to my mum and knew everything. He promised me he had no idea up until the point we had come over for dinner where he immediately recognized her. He apologized for ghosting me and said he just didn't know what to say and he was scared that he would ruin my relationship with my parents or maybe ruin their marriage. I forgave him but told him that the whole situation was just way too messy for me and he agreed. I feel like I will never see my mum the same way again. How can I work on rebuilding a relationship and trust moving forward? You don't. You don't. Your mum slept with the student. How do you fix anything? You can't.